everyone. I am Lisette, and welcome to Proverbs Home, and welcome to A Heart's Connection. These are going to be new videos where we're going to get to share a little deeper of my heart and my life. Women, we need each other, and God has placed us by each other's side to be there for each other, to pray for one another. So I hope you enjoy this video, A Heart's Connection. I want to say thank you to all my new subscribers that have joined my channel. Thank you so much, and I hope that you enjoy these videos, and that when you watch these Heart Connection videos, that you come connected with the words that I am sharing with you, that your heart will come connected with the hope that there is through God. And I wanted to come on here and make these videos. This is my cat Elijah. He is my little soldier. And every time I put on a video, I'm going to start filming. He likes to come stand next to me, and he likes to just be part of it. So yeah, that's what he does. But today I'm going to be talking about giving up. Giving up. Giving up is easy to do. It's easy to give up. It's easy to walk away and throw in the towel. It's easy to take the easy road. You know, I've heard of so many people that get into quick, rich schemes. They want to be rich, and they start getting into all these different programs. They spend a lot of money just to find out it either was a dud or it just doesn't work. There is no get quick rich scheme. No matter how much they make seminars about it, no matter how much they say you're going to be rich overnight, that just doesn't work. You know, God says for us not to pursue riches. Not that being rich is a bad thing. There are people that have worked very hard. Our country wouldn't be what it is if we didn't have the inventors that our country has had, if we didn't have the people that have worked so hard to have the phones you have, or to have the things that you have in your home. Yes, many things are made overseas, but a lot of things have been made in America, or were made in America, like the Ford car. You know, Ford worked very hard. He was a very intelligent engineer. He could look at anything that had to do with being mechanical, or anything that had to do with putting things together and figure it out. He was a very smart man. He worked hard to get to where he was. It wasn't easy for him. This was back in the 1800s, and today look at all the different cars we have. You know, many people forget about the designer, which was Ford, and the great cars. He made the quadricycle. He was a very intelligent man. That was one of his very first cars that he invented, just with some metal and a few materials. Why do we give up so quickly? Why do we want everything to be so easy? You know, we were never intended to have our government pay our way through life. It was never intended to be that way. It's always been intended for us to work for the things that we need. Now, there's those times we need help. There's those times we may come across something that's not really good, and we need the help, right? So that's good when we have those government programs that can help us, when we have things like scholarships and just, you know, you can get certain money for certain things. It's just great that we have those programs that can help us, but we're never intended for it to stop there, and for us to never try hard on our own to make it and to do the things that we're supposed to do. You know, there has been people in my life that have thought that I couldn't do the things I do, that I shouldn't be doing the things I'm doing. I shouldn't be an author because I'm supposedly a minority. I shouldn't be an author because I'm born in the Bronx, born in New York State. And because I was born in the Bronx and I'm a supposedly minority, I shouldn't be smart. I shouldn't have a degree. I should be according to what society says. Well, I'm here to disagree with that. There will be people in your life that will come in your life, right, Elijah? They would come in your life and they would tell you you shouldn't be doing what you shouldn't be doing, what God gave you to do. Now, I'm not talking about if you're causing havoc and we're doing things to hurt others, and I'm not talking about that. We know we shouldn't be doing those things. You know, if I tell one of my friends, my good friends, that I'm going to go build the car like Ford, they're going to laugh at me because I know nothing about cars except to change the oil, maybe a tire, and put gas in the car. So that would be a little ridiculous, right? If we get into things that we know that we're not well equipped, because you see, everybody's gifted in a different way, right, Elijah? Everybody is gifted in a different way. But if you listen to people, when you start having a goal and they're constantly telling you you can't do it, and they criticize you, you really need to rethink who those friends are. Because when you have a really good friend, they're going to want the best for your life. They're going to want you to grow. They're going to want you to have the things God has for you to use your talents. So why do we listen to those who try to discourage us? Why do we do that? Why do you give up? Because somebody said something to you and it just discouraged you, so you gave up, knowing that you have the capability to do the things that God's given you to do. It's easy to give up. It's easy to throw in the towel. It's easy to walk away. It's easy to walk away from a plan. It's easy to walk away from a goal that you have and say, forget it, I can't do this, who am I? Well, yes, I am a woman who was born in the Bronx. Lizzie from the Bronx was born in the Bronx. My grandparents, my great-grandparents were immigrants. Well, kind of, because, you know, this was years ago, and they came from Puerto Rico. But when they came here, they worked hard. I've shared this, I think, a long time ago in one of my videos. My great-grandmother, which is like my grandmother to me, because she was the one that I was always around besides my grandmother. I was always around my great-grandmother, my great-grandfather. I was close to them. I would stay over their house and things like that. But when she came to the States, she came from Puerto Rico, and she worked very hard in Puerto Rico to cook meals for her neighbors. Her mom had passed away when she was very young, so she had her brothers and sisters, and they were all raised with their dad. So my great-great-grandmother, I never got to meet her. So she cooked for everyone, and when she came to the States, she was a very well-established woman. She got here. She opened up a restaurant in the Bronx and one in Manhattan. And she was a restaurant owner with my great-grandfather. And she cooked. And they were very successful. Well, that poured into all the other women in my family. My aunt was a maid in a hotel in Manhattan. I think it was called the Dorel Inn. She already passed away. And she met Michael Jackson, and she met some other famous people. And she was one of the top head maids there, and she retired very well off. My mom, when we were older, went back to school. She worked with people with special needs. My sister, and there's a reason I'm sharing this, and I'm going to get to it. My sister has a master's degree. She is second to the CEO of the company. She worked very hard for many years to get that master's degree. And my other aunt retired, worked in the hospital in the Bronx for many, many years, is retired and doing very well. But we're not supposed to do that because that's not what society says that we're supposed to be. No, we're supposed to be down and out. And not that I've never had hard times. I've had my very hard times in my life where I had to struggle. I went through pain. I went through different things. I was sick for quite a while. So I had my hard times, but I never gave up. I was in the 6th grade and 9th grade. I remember my teachers telling me, you should write. You should be a writer. Well, back then, being young, I thought, oh, who am I? Why? And I've shared some of this before, so I don't want to get all into that. But the point is that I still went on ahead. And years later, I decided I'm tired of worrying. I'm already done 4 book signings already. I have another one coming up, thank God, soon, God willing. That's coming up very soon. I have like a seminar I'm going to be doing. And now I help other people get started with publishing their books. Only God can take a person's life and do that in someone's life when the world says that you can't. Because where you come from, where you live, whether you come from the city, whether you come from the Bronx, whether you come from the ghetto, who cares? That does not identify who we are. God identifies who we are. We can make a choice to go the wrong path, or we could say, God, I'm going to stick with you, Lord, and you're going to bring me through my life no matter what I go through, no matter what struggles, what pain, what hurt. God, I want you. I want you completely in my life. And that's what I wanted to share today in this Heart's Connection. That you know this video is candid from my heart. This is in no way me saying, or look at who I am, because I'm nothing without God. This is me saying you can do anything that God puts in your heart that you have desire to do, no matter what, where you come from, what family you came from, if you were abused or you went through things, or even if you were left by your mom and your dad. There was a very famous pastor in New York State. His name is Bill Wilson. And he was left at a bus stop when he was a little boy. Left there. And today, he's got one of the biggest churches, and God has used him in an amazing way to reach children. And God can use anybody he wants to use. Special needs. You know, if you ever heard of I'm trying to think, I think it's called Tim Hawkins. You can look it up. And it's like a famous donut place. And the man that owns that hires people with special needs. God uses who he wants. He could take the worst person in the deepest, darkest pit and take their lives and transform it for his glory. Because he gets all the glory. For his glory. And use them in an amazing way to make a difference in this world. So why are you giving up? Why are you throwing in that towel? Why are you saying, we watch all these videos on YouTube, right? That we like. I have my channels that I like. They're inspiring. They're wonderful. And I love it. But we should never be envious of what someone else has and say, well, I want to have that. We can look at what they're doing and say, you know what? I want to live kind of a life like that. I want a peaceful life. I like how they're doing that. I think I'm going to try. There's nothing wrong with that. But when it gets to the point of we think we're nothing or what we have is not enough, unless it's the same way somebody else has, then we need to ask God to help us with that, because look around you. What you have is enough. And God can use you right where you are. Don't throw in that towel. Don't listen to those who just want to keep you down and say, you can't do it, you can't do it, you can't do it. And then you really believe that. You believe the lies. That's what's wrong with a lot of people. Take a little lie and feed it to somebody. Slowly and slowly they start to believe it. It's important that you remember who you are, that God created you with a purpose and a plan. Is there suffering in the world? Sin has brought suffering into this world. That is the truth. And we all will go through trials, no matter what we have, little or a lot. But that doesn't mean we sit back and do nothing. I seen it in my family. I seen my great-grandmother, and I seen how hard she worked. And then they became pastors for many, many years. And the church they pastored is still there with another pastor. They both gone now. Both my great-grandparents are gone. But they never gave up. They came here with a goal. They came in this country with a goal, and that was to work and be successful. And this is coming from a woman from the Bronx. God bless you. I hope you enjoyed this video. And remember, from my heart's connection to yours, never give up. God bless.